Hello and welcome back to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel, your source for all things Everton. My name's Thomas, back with another EFC 24/7 report where we bring you all the transfer rumours and news from the day. Plenty more rumours to get into today, so we're just going to start straight off here with a Telegraph claiming that Jonjoe Kenny is a possible target for West Ham. David Moyes is looking to strengthen at right back for them in the summer. And obviously Kenny's coming back from a season-long loan at Schalke. Personally, I think that would be a good deal for both parties if the fee's right. I'd probably be looking at around 15 to 20 million for him. He's proven that he can do a good job in the Bundesliga. Nothing special, he's not setting the world alight. But if we can get money for a player like Jonjoe Kenny, it'll help fund other areas of the pitch. Obviously, we have been rumoured to be in for a right back for a while. I think it's more likely that we look for a right midfielder that's going to fit into Ancelotti's system of kind of playing the five at the back, but with the two wing backs or the right midfielder coming back to defend, but also managing to get forwards. I think this would be a good move if West Ham want him and the fees right. As I said, 15 to 20 million. Works for both parties. It allows us to invest money in the rest of the squad, especially considering that money's a bit shorter than it has been. Obviously, financial fair play that we have to comply with work a lot better if we can sell a player like Jonjoe Kenny for a healthy profit. Obviously, coming through the academy, that'll work very well for funding other potential transfers and a potential transfer that it might fund. Gabriel from Lille, obviously centre back that's been linked with the Blues for a while now. Obviously a fee might have been agreed, but then due to the COVID-19 situation, apparently the club went back into Lille saying we want to renegotiate the fee that's going to, provide more value considering the financial situation at the moment. But apparently another club that's joined the race for Gabriel is Manchester United, according to the Mirror. This now makes United alongside Everton, Arsenal, Manchester, Napoli and PSG all in the race to sign Gabriel this summer. I think we're definitely in for him. Obviously, there's been a consistent interest. Apparently, he might have already visited Finch Farm. It's not confirmed whether that was true or not. The club definitely has interest, and they are looking to bring in a centre-back. Whether this one's going to get over the line, we're going to have to wait and see. Marcel Brands, with these kind of moves like Yerry Mina, does like to kind of stretch them across the whole summer and wait till the last minute to kind of sort the deal. There's not much to this rumour, I don't think, whether they're interested or not. I think it's only Everton and Napoli that are definitely very much interested in him. Napoli obviously already signing or going to sign Aussie men from Lille, and now we'll be looking to make it a double swoop for Gabriel as well. I can see us potentially being the favourites here, but if he wants to go play European football, he'll want to go to Napoli, but it just depends whether they can afford him considering their financial situation and how much we want to sign him. But again, not really much to that rumour with Manchester United joining the race. I think it's unlikely considering their centre-back kind of situation at the moment. It's not as bad as ours. I think we'll be more in for him, and that's pretty much a non-starter for them. But also kind of staying on Napoli for a second, Allan is going to be a rumour that's going on throughout the whole summer. Il Martino, as we discussed yesterday, they kind of claim Napoli were waiting for an offer, and now they're alleging that Allan's agents are going to meet with the club, meet with Napoli to present Everton's offer. I think we should take this with a pinch of salt, considering pretty sure this source last week claimed that a fee had already been agreed. The whole system that they're kind of talking about here doesn't really make much sense. I think Everton would probably contact the club directly. I don't think they'd be going through Allan's agents to speak to the club to agree a fee. So this rumour's going to go on for a very long time. I'm sure we'll mention it in plenty more videos as the rest of the summer goes on. We're definitely looking for a centre midfielder. That's been pretty much confirmed for a while now. Whether Allan's going to be the person to do it, 29 years old. He is a brilliant centre midfielder, don't get me wrong, he's got plenty of experience, but it depends how much we're going to pay for him. We don't want to overpay for a player that's going to turn 30 next season, so we'll have to see how that one goes. At the moment, we're not going to make this an Allan-dominated video, as I'm sure plenty will be. Clearly a lot of interest, especially considering how we've cooled our interest in Højbjerg, with Southampton looking the favourites to sign him. Moving on to another transfer rumour, Everton and Arsenal, and this is a strange rumour, are very attentive to the future of Espanyol midfielder Marc Roca, or Roque, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. Apparently Espanyol are desperate to raise cash, and they're going to look to do that with making a healthy profit on a midfielder like Roca. Obviously we're interested in a centre midfielder, as we just discussed there with Allan. Whether whether I can see this one go much further, potentially it might offer good value for money. Obviously, not a major name like Allan or Højbjerg with his Premier League experience. And if we're looking to do more clever deals with finances being a bit tighter than usual, then maybe we will be looking to players who are not as well known, but could potentially do a job if Marcel Brands and Ancelotti both want him. AC Milan and Real Madrid are also apparently interested, but no one has actually made an official approach yet. There's been no offers. But apparently he's very much available, and Espanyol are going to look to raise money this summer, especially considering the financial situation and considering they can make a healthy profit off him. I don't know much about the player, but obviously if it's a centre midfielder, we're looking for. We need engines in centre midfield. We need more defensive midfielders like Idrissa Gueye was, like Gbamin might be when he finally comes back from his injury, and see this rumour potentially lasting for a bit longer in the summer, depending on what happens with Allan. But this is clearly potentially a backup option. Because Højbjerg has clearly probably failed now, and then Allan, if we can't agree a good fee that represents value for the player going into his turn 30 this season, potentially we're going to look to midfielders like that who are less big names but could also provide better value for money. And then kind of moving on from transfer rumours now, still on preparation for next season. Phil Kirkbride from the Echoes claimed that the club are planning behind closed doors friendlies for the pre-season that are going to be against Football League clubs in the kind of the north or the northwest. This is obviously, it's going to be to build fitness. The club were planning a pre-season tour in America. Obviously that's not going to be possible now, considering the whole situation, but obviously they will want to build match fitness, and it's a very short break, but they'll still want that. I think it's only 6 or 7 weeks. So obviously, this is probably true. It's not really a transfer rumour to discuss the likelihood of it happening. The club will be looking to arrange a bunch of friendlies like that and potentially test new signings or raise fitness for the season ahead. But what kind of a big story that's kind of it's caused mixed opinions on Twitter today, as most do. Apparently, the Echo have claimed that Carlo Ancelotti and Marcel Brands are going to have daily Zoom meetings to discuss the transfer window, how they can improve the squad. But Ancelotti was he was planning to meet with the board, a few days after the season ended, probably by now. But apparently the board have already pushed that meeting back to next week. And obviously people are kind of discussing whether this shows a lack of intent by the club. Ancelotti clearly wants to get business done. He said he has to improve the quality of the squad. He says he's going to. He clearly wants to make that happen sooner rather than later. And he'll want to bed in players before deadline day and before going into next season. So obviously, for the club, it's imperative that transfers are made quickly. They need to improve the squad dramatically, and Ancelotti's already said the club's going to evolve going into this summer, and he's clearly interested in making transfers, but he wants it happening now. Maybe people on the board are kind of pushing it back. Finances, there's a lot of rumours where the finance is tight. We've got less money, considering financial fair play and the kind of the financial situation in the world at the moment. Maybe that's playing on the board's minds slightly, that they might not want to, rush into any decisions. Obviously, there's been poor transfer of business in the past. £35 million for Iwobi is going to look like a potentially awful fee, representing value for money. Obviously, he's had a poor season, but going forwards, that might improve. But the club clearly don't want to make decisions like that, which are going to hamper funds even more than they have done. Obviously, in past summers, we could kind of take those kind of fees on the chin if they didn't provide good value. Players like Yannick Bolasie, players like Davy Klaassen and other players like that. Because obviously the club are going to want to improve their record of kind of overspending on players. Having money isn't all it's made out to be. And clearly if the board are kind of doubting whether they can do much business this summer, it's kind of clashing with Ancelotti's ambition to get the squad sorted as quickly as possible. We'll have to see what happens there. There'll be plenty going on behind the scenes that we don't know, and obviously, as we know, as I mentioned, Brands does like to maybe stretch his summer business on a bit longer than maybe Ancelotti wants to get it done straight away. But it's good to see that the club, Ancelotti and Brands, are going to be working in cohesion for that, and it's not just going to be who's making which transfer. Is it going to be Brands? Is it going to be Ancelotti? There's going to be less of those discussions. So thank you very much for watching. Be sure to let us know what you think in the comments. Would you be looking to sell Jonjoe Kenny to a club like West Ham? If so, how much for? Would you be kind of continuing the chase for Allan, or moving to a player like Mark Rocket if we are interested in him and Espanyol want to sell him? And then obviously the Gabriel transfer rumour that we've asked you about plenty of times. Do you think this is going to be going to go on for the rest of the summer? Do you think we're going to get it done? And do you think we need a centre-back? And if not Gabriel, then who? So thank you very much for watching, and join us next time on the Toffee Blues. Goodbye.